Hey guys, Ken's 97 Stowe 171, and back for a trucking video. Oh man. Turn off the CV here and take that down. Ah, fuck me running. He's gonna scale in, so get out of his way. Talking on a cell phone. $2,700 fine there, buddy. Catch you doing that shit. I am not empty here. Just came out of this one of my deliveries, and the back third of the trailer still got product on it, so that's going to be great. Hopefully I pulled enough off. I won't have any weight issues. Unfortunately, it's low enough in the pocket that if you hit the brakes, sometimes if it's high enough, it'll tumble forward, but it won't. So it's Monday. This is my first day back in almost 2 weeks. Beginning of 2 weeks ago, beginning of the week, the rank I worked on Monday, and then I think I worked on Tuesday as well, and came down with gout in my right foot. This happened to me a couple of years ago, although at the time I don't think I knew it was gout, because it hurt, but it only lasted a couple of days and it just went away on its own. I figured I hit my toe or hit my foot or something and it was just sore, but same kind of pain this time, and it didn't go away. And because of some of the other medications I take, I can't use any NSAID, anti-swelling, anti-inflammatories, so I can't take naproxen sodium, I can't take Advil, I can't take Aleve, I can't take Tylenol, I can't take ibuprofen. I think I just repeated myself on some of those, but basically I can't take any of the anti-inflammatories, or I shouldn't take them, let's just say. And so I was left to stay off of it, put your foot in the air and put some ice on it. And I tried that for basically a week, and it really didn't get any better. And in fact, the first day it hit me was almost the worst. I was laying there trying to sleep, and I'm pretty pain tolerant, but I was actually laying there like shivering with the pain. It was shaking and shivering. It was pretty bad. I got up and I went to the ER. I didn't have anything else I could do. I knew I couldn't take any anti-inflammatories, even though I had them in the house. So I went to the ER and they looked at it, took x-rays, didn't see anything on the x-rays. And he said, I can't give you anything. He's like, here's some Percocet. So I went home with one Percocet and a prescription for it, and that worked. It put me to sleep, took the pain away, and also upset my stomach. And so I basically lived with it for the next week, and finally I had my wife make an appointment for her podiatrist, foot doctor. who she has trusted and has helped her through some problems with her feet that other people were not able to diagnose. So, you know, he seems like a good guy, and went in, sat down, and he's like, well, let's see, it's swollen, it's red, and it's hot to the touch. Yeah, it's gout. They did the ER, they also did my uric acid numbers, and it was on the high side of normal, which honestly doesn't mean shit. What does normal mean? Normal just means the average for most people. The only way for you to know if something is high or low is if you had a number. If I had my uric acid level number before I had gout, and it was 3, and now it's 6.2, well, you know, that means something. Comparing someone to the general population, while useful, is not always, you know, a for sure thing. So, and the foot doctor basically agreed with that. He's like, look, you've got gout. I don't care what the uric acid number is. You know, if it looks like gout, feels like gout, seems like gout, it's gout. And so he's like, I don't really care what the uric acid number is. I asked him about a condition called pseudo-gout, which gout is caused by uric acid crystals that build up in the joints, usually the big toe. Not the big toe, but the bunion. So the joint right behind the big toe. And it's painful even to touch the toe, but it's basically on the side of the foot, you know, like right here on the bunion. And come on, get in here. There we go. Let me just tell you, it's painful. And like an idiot, you know, I thought it was getting better, and one weekend I walked on it a little too much, and then another day I walked on it a little bit too much, and the next day I was in agony, and finally I was like, I gotta go see somebody. So I went to him, and he looked at it and confirmed the diagnosis, basically. I asked him about pseudo-gout. I'm sorry, guys, I'm all over the place today. Gout is uric acid crystal buildup in the joints. Pseudo-gout is caused by, like, calcium, I believe it's calcium crystals. Calcium chloride, or it's a different crystal. The result is the same. It hurts like hell, and it has the same. You wouldn't know the difference, but I guess the treatment can be different. If you're taking a daily medication to prevent it, the treatment is different. But the immediate treatment, which I'll get into, is the same. So he said, look, 99.9% of the time, men get gout. Almost they never get pseudo-gout. Women tend to get pseudo-gout more, or can get both. But men almost always get gout, not pseudo-gout. So he's like, if you want, we can do the test. It'll be the most painful thing you've ever experienced in your life. But the treatment for is the same. So he's like, it doesn't matter. Let's just do the treatment. It'll go away. You put ice on it for the next couple of days and drink tons and tons, as much as you can, of black cherry juice is what he recommended. And so then I got to have pretty much the most painful experience of my life up to this point. You got to imagine a inflamed, red, sore bunion on the side of your foot. You know, where the big joint is there, just behind the big toe. You know, you can barely touch it. Like, the weight of a sheet on it is too much sometimes. Tender all around it. And it's inflamed inside the joint. That's where the pain comes from, is inside the joint, from these little crystals grinding around in the joint. So the treatment for it is they take a needle and they shove it into your joint, between the joint, and they inject a corticosteroid of some type or another. Yeah. I screamed like a little girl. I'm pretty pain tolerant for the most part. Yeah. So he's like, he and the nurse were holding on to my foot. Surprisingly, they didn't have me strapped down or my legs strapped down. I think I actually would have preferred that, because part of my worry was that I'd move while I knew what he was going to do. I knew what he was going. I knew he was going to do a needle in the joint. And he warned me it was going to hurt, but he's like, now, I can feel him swab the alcohol on it, and then he's like, now I'm going to use some cold spray, which kind of hurts too, because it's really cold. Rather than numbing it with Novocaine or something, they spray this cold solution on the injection point, and it numbs it to the point where they can shove the needle in without you feeling it on your skin. However, that doesn't help inside, and I'm guessing because it's such a shallow area of flesh that Novocaine really wouldn't work there anyway, because you'd be in the joint anyway, so you're gonna put, instead of putting 3 needles in, just put 1 and get it over with, kind of thing. But felt the cold spray, and that kind of hurts, because imagine frostbite. That's what it kind of feels like. It's like instantaneously too cold, which kind of burns almost. I felt the prick a little bit from the injection, but not much. And then once he got into that joint, I just started clenching my fist and my teeth. I wish I had a piece of wood between my teeth. Started going, oh shit, 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 shit. And then apparently I started going, fuck me, fuck me, fuck! like over and over. I don't remember it, really. I wasn't paying attention. But that's what I was saying. And then he was done. And then the pain went away pretty much right away. It was over pretty much right away. And I gotta tell you, it worked. Within 2 or 3 hours, the pain was dramatically reduced. The pain had moved from the front of the joint to the back of the joint, and that's where he injected it at. And that went away very quickly. And then there was some redness for the next few days, actually. It was still sore to the front of the joint. I'm thinking that inflammation was just left from basically abuse that the joint had taken over the course of 2 weeks. It had nothing to do with the gout. The gout went away right away because the pain was different. I could touch the side of it. I could move the toe more. But it was tender in some certain areas. The other thing I did was I followed his instructions. I went to the store, and my wife took me, we ate lunch. And over the course of an hour or two at lunch, my foot was feeling remarkably better. So then we went to the grocery store, and I bought like 4 32-ounce jars of all-natural black cherry juice. It was from concentrate, but it was pure black cherry juice. It wasn't. There was no preservatives or sugar added or anything. It was, about 4, basically the whole shelf. I bought 4 of those because he said to drink it as a preventative, possibly too. So I went home and I pretty much drank a 32-ounce bottle of that and about 3/4 of another one that same afternoon. And let me tell you what, I learned something about black cherry juice. Y'all know what prune juice does to you. Well, black cherry juice does the same thing. Didn't make me feel sick to my stomach or anything, but well, let me tell you what, running back and forth to the bathroom quite a bit, and it did seem to help my foot, although I think, honestly, the injection pretty much cleared it up, and at that point I was just doing it to make sure. I probably didn't even need to, because I didn't notice much pain reduction after the injection point. After the injection, I think it was pretty much done. But I started looking on the internet for gout. You can look it up. It's G-O-U-T. And I found like 71 treatments for gout, and it's basically people posting what help works for them. Not everything works for the same people. Black cherry juice is one that's very common. Tart cherry concentrate is another one that is recommended, although he told me not to get tart. He said specifically black cherry, so that's what I did. The other treatment that works for people is to get apple cider vinegar. It's Bragg's, B-R-A-G-G'(S), I think. Bragg's brand. Apple cider vinegar with the mother, which I had to look up because I didn't know what the hell that meant. And with the mother is the crap in the bottom of the apple cider vinegar. What you want is raw, unpasteurized apple cider vinegar. And I just got the Bragg's brand because that's what I saw recommended. And they've been making it for over 100 years. So I figured they probably know what the hell they're doing. You don't have to refrigerate it. You can if you want, but you don't have to. And you got to make sure you shake it up before you use it. Because what you want is the crap in the bottom of the vinegar. That's the stuff that's good for you. It's supposed to be good for gout. It's supposed to be good for all kinds of gastrointestinal issues. It's been used for like 3,000 years as a health product. So Anyway, so I got some of that. Went to GNC. Got that at GNC. Went to GNC. Got the apple cider vinegar. I got some black cherry concentrate, all natural, also. And then I picked up another thing that was like Joint Health or something. And so every day I've been drinking my apple cider vinegar. And I usually do 1 glass of black cherry, and then I do a glass of apple cider vinegar as a preventative. And then basically if it flares up again, you just mega dose it. If the black cherry juice doesn't work, some people get relief from eating raw black cherries, which, I mean, if it happens in the summertime, that's not a problem. You can get black cherries. I guess probably even healthier. Sometimes black cherries in a can will work for people. You drink the cherries and then you drink the juice too. So that's been my experience with gout, and my foot still hurts. Now, though, it's not really pain. I think it's still tender. I've got my shoes on, and it kind of hurts. I've got my steel toes on. I drove the truck today with flip-flops on, but I've got to wear steel toes at the delivery sites. I actually forgot to get back into my flip-flops. The pressure, the shoe around the foot is a little bit painful. Although once I'm wearing these for a while, the pain kind of goes away. But what's weird is now I can move my toes, I can press on the foot anywhere and bend it and massage it, and it doesn't hurt. In fact, it feels more like it's itching inside the joint, which probably means it's healing. So I think it's just that the joint is still a little, pissed off from being abused. And, he told me to try to watch my food, stay away from red meats, and you can look it up. There's a bunch of foods that you should stay away from. And if it ever happens again, I'm going to go right to the doctor, because I can guarantee, while that needle injection is never going to feel great, it'll feel a hell of a lot less bad at the beginning of a gout flare-up than it will after waiting for 2 weeks. So, lesson learned, go to the foot doctor right away. But I guess, 2 years ago when I got it, it came and it went in a couple of days and it wasn't a big deal. I didn't even know it was gout. So now I know what it is for sure, and that I'm susceptible to it. And unfortunately, usually every flare-up is worse. He said, this time was a lot worse than the first time. Next time will be 3 times worse than this time. So he's like, you want to try to make sure you don't get it again. And if you do get it again, you need to come in right away. And which I will, because, I basically was off work for 2 weeks, because how do you press the brake pedal of a truck when you can't even walk? I had to walk on the side of my foot. Well, there's no way you're going to press the brake pedal, of an air brake in a truck. So I was off work for 2 weeks. Fortunately, it was the holiday. 1 week was the holiday week, and so I probably wouldn't have been that busy anyway. And I'm going to just take some vacation time for that time I was off. But it sucked. So I'll probably try to watch what I eat, or what I'll do is, if I, on the 4th of July, we had hamburgers and hot dogs and steak, and I overdid it on meat, go home and drink a bunch of black cherry juice that night, or maybe before, to try to counteract it a bit. The way you make the drinks, the apple cider vinegar, you shake it up, get it really good shaken up, and then you do 2 tablespoons in about 8 ounces of water. You could also make it to whatever taste is okay with you. Sweeten it with honey, or stevia, preferably something that's not cane sugar. I happen to have some blue agave syrup, or juice, which is a natural sweetener. And it has a bit of a vinegar odor, which is a little weird, and it's got a little bit of that tang taste, tangy, tingly taste that you get with vinegar. But the flavor of it is pretty much, think tart sweet lemonade, but apples instead of lemon. You almost really can't tell that it's apples. It's just sort of tart with an appley kind of taste or smell. And it's not delicious, but you know, if you really can't handle the vinegar taste, well, you can do 1 tablespoon and then just drink 2 separate glasses to get the same dose. I mean, some people can just eat the tablespoon of vinegar. I can't, but I don't really like vinegar that much, even on like hot wings and such. So I try to sweeten it and dilute it to the point where it's drinkable. You know, and what I'm doing is I'm making it and I'm taking it with me. I make it in a 32-ounce Gatorade bottle, and I take that with me, and I drink that all day long. I'll probably alternate. One day I'll do the vinegar solution, and one day I'll do water. That's the other thing, hydration. And I think that's what set it off on me this time, was dehydration. The day that it happened, it was over a weekend. No, it was a Tuesday. I think it started the previous weekend, Friday night or Saturday. And that particular day, I didn't drink much. And normally when I'm in my truck every Monday through Friday, I drink at least 32 ounces of water a day, but it's usually maybe twice that amount, which really still isn't technically enough. But during the week, I have a routine of constantly drinking water. And I guess that Friday night or Saturday, I didn't. And I think I got dehydrated, and that's probably what set it off. And once it starts going, because I noticed one day, before I had gone to the foot doctor, I had noticed one day where I drank like 3 32-ounce jugs of water, basically all in a row, and the pain subsided significantly. So, combination of water, vinegar, the cherry solution. Cherry solution works the same way. You can buy pure black cherry juice and just drink it, or you can get the black cherry concentrate, and again, it's 2 tablespoons and like 8 ounces in a cup of water. Mix it up, and if you want it to taste a little better, I mean, it tastes okay, but it's a light cherry flavor at that point. If you want something a little bit more, get some just regular, not so expensive cherry juice, maybe just regular cherry juice, and I mix up to 2 tablespoons of black cherry concentrate in that cherry juice. Then you get this really yummy, strong cherry tasting drink. But if you wanted to do it for less money, you can do it in water. So that's the things I've learned about gout. Don't get it. If you do get it, go to the damn doctor right away. And for most people, they can take naproxen sodium or an anti-inflammatory and a lot of water and usually kick it out pretty quickly. But I can't do that. So I'm basically screwed. I tried, over the course of the 2 weeks, I tried a couple of days, I tried some 800 milligram ibuprofens that I had laying around from an old prescription, and it honestly didn't help much, and it upset my stomach. So that's my gout story. Don't get it, it sucks. Still liking my truck. Love the engine. Steering sucks. The only 2 things I really don't like, the steering is still terrible, and the CB radio mounting thing is just ludicrous. The steering is kind of annoying, actually. I don't know what the deal is, but it's kind of all over the... It's okay when you're going straight and flat. It's no problem. It doesn't have a lot of play in it. It doesn't feel like when you hit like an edge of a road or there's any kind of stress on one wheel but not the other, it really like jerks, and it's kind of all over the place. Also if the road, you know, is kind of wavy, it's a bit weird. I hate the cruise control in this thing too. It just takes forever to fucking accelerate up to the fucking speed limit. Guys, I don't know if anything else is really going on. City of Blue Ash, Ohio. They have a nice fireworks display every year. We try to go every year because, quite frankly, it's a great deal and it's free and it's a great show. And this year they always have a band that plays, you know, like the hour before, hour and a half before the show, the fireworks. And this year they had Foreigner there, which was pretty cool. Rained pretty much the whole time, drizzled a little bit through the concert. And unfortunately, it started raining harder when the fireworks went. And it really didn't bother it too much, except the smoke didn't go anywhere. So a lot of the big fireworks, you couldn't even see them. You could hear them, but you couldn't see them. The smoke from the last one was in the way, and the smoke just didn't blow anywhere. But you know, we got to see Foreigner, which was pretty cool. And they were good. They're always good live. You know, anyway, if you get a chance to see them, you should, because they're pretty good. Normally I try to shoot some video of the fireworks, but since it was raining, I didn't bother. And I've tried recording the concerts, and you know, honestly, the sound it doesn't turn out well enough to be worth it. So that was cool. it short and relax and listen to some music. Oh, I remember, music reminds me. Check out you may have heard the song called Get Lucky by, I think it's called Daft Punk. Got their whole album, and their most recent album with that song on it. And actually, the whole album is pretty good. It's kind of like a blast from the 70s with modern twist, and I like it. Get Lucky, I think, is number 8 on the CD. I don't know if I can play it or not. Let's see here. I think YouTube allows like 10 seconds of a song or something, but definitely recommend the album. Try it out, listen to it. There's some clips on YouTube if you look that up. Daft Punk, it's D-A-F-T-P-U-N-K. The song's called Get Lucky. There's a few versions of the internet posted by the artist as well as some other remixes. There's about like 10 versions of that song. There's a radio mix, and there's like 10 different mixes, but kind of funny. But pretty much the whole CD. I mean, 1 through 8 is good. 9, 10, 11, 12. At some point, maybe it's 12 through 14. I don't like as much, but tracks 1 through like 12 are really pretty good, actually. And it's got a good beat, good to dance to, and I mean, like I said, it's kind of 70s. It's kind of got that syncopated beat from the 70s, but with a modern flair, and I enjoy it. I never really got into disco. That's before my time. I was more of when I was in high school. The 80s music was the thing, and I mean, I still love the 80s, but some of the 70s music I liked. And that whole CD is pretty good. And I haven't checked out any of their other albums. He's been making music since like 1970. So apparently, I don't know how long the band has been together. But the guy on track 3 he talks about the beginning of his music career in the 69, 70. He's German, which is kind of weird too. And talks about his beginnings in music. But it's a pretty enjoyable CD, so definitely check that out if you want to hear more. You can like I said, find it on YouTube, and you can listen to the whole song. I like it. It's been on the radio. That one's been on the radio quite a bit, but I hadn't heard any of the other songs, and some of the other ones are really good too. So definitely check that out. If you like piano, let's stay on the topic of music for a little bit. If you look on YouTube, I think it's Pianist Miri, Pianistmiri. I believe that's her name on YouTube. And she does piano. She plays piano to all kinds of new songs. And she's really good. She also plays the harp. I mean, she did Akon's song Angel, and she's playing the harp to that one. She's got wings on and a little white halo on her head. Really pretty Oriental Asian woman, very pretty, and unbelievably talented. She's really good, and she plays all different kinds of music. So you probably, if you like a particular song, you can also send her a request, and she'll try to do the song for you. But yeah, Pianist Miri, I think that's her Facebook, Twitter, and I think that's her connection that way too. But you'll find her on YouTube. And who else have I found recently? I don't know. 2 weeks on the couch. Do a lot of movie watching and YouTube surfing, and so anyway. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it an evening. Sun's starting to go down. The GoPro's gonna start sucking on the recording. So y'all have a good day and be safe out there.